Greetings, Earthlings. Whew. It's been a minute, y'all. Um, since I done chimed in with y'all. Um, you know, I always say no matter what you are experiencing, know that you are not experiencing it, but you're going through the experience. December 2024, my beloved had kidney failure. And yeah, we are a year, come December 24th, it'll be a year. Because she had kidney failure, went in for flash pulmonary, and come to find out her kidneys were failing her. And that was in December 24th, 2024. And here we are, coming in December and approaching the year. She is now in peritoneal because we are going to heal those kidneys. And all at the same time of a healing journey and everything she was experiencing, I kept a secret from her. What I thought was something I've always experienced with HS, turns out it wasn't that. I had a mass up under my breast and swollen lymph node up under my arm. I couldn't tell her while she was in the midst of healing. It was only during the summertime that I think it was August, that I revealed and released that information to her after she had got the peritoneal done and everything. That's to sum the story up. And here we are, is with me. And where I am in the process of healing myself. So where do I begin? I've never told this story. However, somebody has to hear it. My beloved and myself have experienced some crazy experiences. We lost our home, had to live in a hotel. I got back into working. I took care of us all while she was healing. And then my employer let me go. And she had to return back to work. Because now I have a health issue that we are actively taking care of. And it's not the way that everybody would think I'm taking care of it. The way that a lot of people may take care of the situation. So I went, got an ultrasound done because a mammogram is out of the question and a biopsy is out of the question. Logically, whatever your body encapsulates, it puts in a trash can. Um, it did it because it was that intelligent to capture whatever was going rogue in your avatar. And that's what it did. And for me to allow what medicine deems to be fitting, for them to poke a hole in a trash can to release whatever my body put in it would be absurd to me. And that's logical, me logically thinking. So my journey began. I stopped smoking Jane. Well, really, I didn't do the flower. I did the wax. Because the flower I didn't like how it was burning my throat. So I stopped smoking it and the flower itself and just did the wax. Straight THC. And then I stopped that. So that's what I stopped. So I stopped THC. And I stopped the greasy foods. There's a lot of things I stopped doing. I didn't drink or smoke, so. However, the things that I was doing, recreational, marijuana, stopped it. And started watching what I was eating. I didn't eat meat either. I ate fish, though. So, not to go bopping around, but let me back up. So I had an ultrasound done. The ultrasound came back, had the CPN, and she says, well, I'm 98% sure that it's cancer. And I say, oh. She says, but we need a biopsy. And I said, well, if you're 98% sure, why is a biopsy needed? She said that the biopsy would locate exactly where it is, and we will be 100% sure that that's what it is. I said, no, I declined. And she says, why? And of course, I already told y'all my logic of thinking. Whatever my body put into a trash can of rogue agents in the avatar, which is my body, I am not going to allow you to skin it, poke a hole in it, open the lid for it to run rapidly back through my body. Logically thinking this, right? Because you poke a hole in it, now guess what happened? It done spread it. And that's not what I am about to allow. So, I declined. I said, let me get a second opinion. Okay? So, I go to a whole new system, health system. I'm not going to name these health systems because it's criminal of what they do in order for you to, it's just criminal, right? So I go get a second opinion, and before another CPN, of course, she comes in the room. Her mind is already set because she had already read through the charts. And her mind is set, says, well, there's no data saying that, if we do a biopsy, that it spreads in the body. So her mind was already set. And so I asked the question. I said, okay, cool. Your mind is already set. So really, there was no need for us to even go further into this conversation. So I said, well, can you tell me what stage it's in? This nodule up under my breast and everything. Can you tell me what stage it's in? If it's cancer. She says, yeah, I could tell you what stage it's in. I said, okay. By touching it, huh? She says, yeah. So I let her examine me. And she examined me. And then I said, I just need a diagnosis. I don't need anything else. I just need a diagnosis. So she goes to say, well, we need a biopsy. I said, so what stage is it in? I mean, because you examined it like you knew it was cancer. And so she goes, well, I don't know. So what was the purpose of the examination? Now, mind you, I will say, examinations, they have to touch, push, put a little pressure to it. However, the pressure was unnecessary. She was applying. And so I ended it. And I had that second opinion in November, early November. Okay. So here we are. And since that appointment, I've stood on what I have stood on. And that was that since they are not going to give me a diagnosis, I have to heal myself. And I have to take this journey, me and my beloved, and on healing myself. So I started reading more books. The interesting thing about everything that's taken place is that I've had books like Dr. Hilda, The Cure to All Diseases. I have listened to herbalists. The internet is full of information. More importantly, I have sat with myself and asked myself, how can I heal you? And the answer that I got, it was videos popping up on what I can do. Books I would read. And endless possibilities. But I will say this. If you hadn't did a parasite cleanse, make sure that you do. I have never had a parasite cleanse. And when I stopped eating meat and start juicing, I would have my ass would do a little wiggle. And I was, what the dickens? And that's when I learned about parasites. So I juice heavenly, okay? And I started getting herbs unbeknownst to me of this incident that I was going to come into. And so I went to my storage and I grabbed up all of my books, information that I had, all of my herbs, found the holistic store, spoke with some of them, grabbed some more herbs, and started doing a parasite cleanse. More importantly, more important, more importantly, I started moving because I ain't gonna stall you. I'm not active as I was when I was younger. I am a um, my beloved takes care of us, and in all actuality, she is the breadwinner. She wants to take care of us, so I don't have to do anything but to do what I want to do. And so when she fell ill, I jumped right on back onto the Matrix bandwagon and I kept us afloat the best way that I could. Um, and then once my employer let me go, she had to come back into play. And so, yeah. So um, now I am doing parasite cleanses. Um, I still eat fish, but I eat salmon, and not the salmon that is bioengineered or farm raised. Um, I go to the fish market um, and get the fresh salmon. Um, and they normally say this is farm raised or this is wild caught. So, and I don't eat it. I eat it maybe once out of 2 weeks, and then the rest of the food that I eat is basically fruits, vegetables, and not pasta like that, but every now and then I'll have spaghetti. However, I will use the spaghetti squash. Or, you know what I'm saying? I don't eat macaroni anymore. I really didn't never really care for macaroni. However, I'm not really a pasta girl, but a lot of the things I eat, chickpeas and stuff like that. So I was already in the process. I was already out of the meat eating stage. Out of stop eating certain foods, not eating fast foods and stuff like that. Um, However, the grease, the grease, baby. You say, what could you be possibly doing? Uh, Mushrooms. So fried mushrooms. Yes, I was using still that grease. Yeah, that good old canola oil, and yeah, still using that stuff. And so now, I don't use the grease. We don't use the grease anymore. We don't have anything fried. No fried food, and we definitely doesn't use no air fryers, no microwaves. When I tell you my lifestyle has changed tremendously. Um, and so, um, I know this story is everywhere, y'all. However, uh, I'm gonna pick up where we left off at tomorrow. um, on what I have been doing and where we at. I will tell you this though. Since the second opinion, I had to. Uh, I have been moving myself. I have been exercising my whole system, my my universe. My lymphatic system is the most important, right? And I ain't gonna stall y'all. If y'all kidneys ain't on board, your adrenals ain't on board, careful how you move. Careful how you take these herbs, okay? Um, so yeah, I got my lymphatic system moving. And prior to that though, I had bought a lymphatic plate. Yes, I'm telling you, I had bought things before I even knew all of this was taking place. It is the what a kawinky dink situation. And when it all comes together, you be like, oh my God, oh my goodness. I got a lymphatic plague, I got this herb, I got this herb. Like what? Yes. I feel like the Avatar knew what it was doing. And moved for me to purchase these things at that moment. So, um, yes, I've been moving my lymphatic system. Are my kidneys all the way on board? Not like that. Um, however, we'll get into that. I'm gonna leave that story right there, and I'm gonna pick up where we left off. But I just want y'all to know, safe travels to you all, best fortunes to you all. No matter what you are facing, um, there's so much to be grateful for. In all honesty, no matter what you're facing at that moment, at this very moment, um, be grateful. There's so many people out here that are going through so much. And not to say that your situation is better than. They're all equal. They're all equal situations because we are all experiencing it, no matter what it is. We're all experiencing something we do not like, that brings us discomfort, that doesn't bring us glee, that doesn't bring us blissfulness. And yet we're still here. I feel like Morpheus, with everything we are experiencing, we are still here. True story. Um, I'll get that. I'll get that other part out to y'all. To whomever this comes across, you are not alone. You are wanted. You are needed. You are provided for, and that is nothing but the truest thing anyone could ever experience is to know that. Safe travels, y'all.